After months and months of speculation and little trickles of data, the Maruti Suzuki Invicto is finally here in the metal. And today we're going to check out its exterior design, interior and feature list, and of course get behind the wheel and tell you what it's like to drive and whether it's worth investing your money in Maruti Suzuki's new flagship product. Before we start, here's a little reminder that Maruti Suzuki's actually launched the car in India with a starting price of Rs 24.79 lakh introductory ex-showroom. Even the least keenest of eyes will take one look at the Maruti Suzuki Invicto and tell you that it resembles the Toyota Innova Hycross, and that's because it's essentially a rebadged version of the Innova Hycross. Why does this product exist? Because of the relationship between Maruti Suzuki and Toyota, which has resulted in cars like the Urban Cruiser, Hyryder and Lanza. But this one's a little different because this is the first time that Maruti Suzuki has taken a product from Toyota, and it has done rightly so to pick a car like the Innova Hycross because it's looking to go beyond its 40-year strong budget-friendly image. This is Maruti Suzuki's new flagship vehicle and will be sold through their Nexa showrooms. Now, in terms of exterior design, there are one or two noticeable elements on the face of the Maruti Invicto. The biggest one, of course, being the grille, which in this case is the two-slat chrome grille with the Suzuki logo in the middle and these black surrounds. That makes it look very similar to the Grand Vitara as well as the Franx crossover. Another noticeable element in front is these like chrome inserts under the headlights, and while it has the same bumper as the Innova Hycross, it does look a tad bit chunkier thanks to the way that the bumper is actually designed. In profile, the only major change from the Innova Hycross are these 17-inch alloy wheels, where the Innova Hycross runs 18s, this one is running 17s and has a nice diamond cut pattern, giving it a sort of premium look. Other elements include chrome inserts on the door handle and chrome inserts under the glass house area. And when you look at it overall, you get the nice muscular stance that both Toyota and Maruti Suzuki have been aiming for with this car. The rear of the Maruti Invicto has the same muscular stance as the rest of the car. Some of the major elements here include this chrome belt line below the glass house, of course the badging here, the Suzuki logo, and a nice spoiler above the glass house area. In all, the exterior design of the Invicto is pretty similar to the Hycross, and that's for one very good reason, that that car has moved from an MPV to a more SUV-ish design, something that's very popular with buyers nowadays, and taking most of the design unchanged should help Maruti, if nothing else, increase volumes. Step in the cabin of the Maruti Invicto and you can see that it's an all-black affair with what Maruti calls champagne gold inserts in the center console, the cup holders, the AC vents, and of course the door handles too. Now, Maruti Suzuki has retained more than 99% of the Innova Hycross interiors, which is a very good thing as that's a very practical car and you get everything transferred over here without any issues. One of the things that we have an issue with is that you get some soft touch plastics here on the dashboard and the doors, but the rest of it is kind of hard wearing and scratchy and very unbefitting of a car that will cost you well over 30 lakhs on road. In terms of ergonomics, everything falls easily to hand, the buttons are all easy to reach, and now more so because of this island-like center console that sits in an incline in the middle. One of the major highlights of the dashboard is of course these dual digital screens. This one here is the instrument cluster with a full color MID in the middle, and this one here is a 10.1 inch unit to control the infotainment system. We are here in the second row of the Maruti Suzuki Invicto, and as you can see it gets captain seats in the same black trim, and this is the top of the line Alpha Plus version that we are driving, which only gets the captain seat option. If you want an 8-seater version with a bench in the middle, then you have to go for the lower spec Zeta Plus variant. which can be either had as a 7 or 8 seat, but the difference between 7 and 8 seat is just rupees 5,000, making it an almost negligible choice. Features here include these rose gold inserts in the door, this nice perforations on the seat giving it a premium appeal, your own climate zone, USB Type-C ports, seat back pockets, and a hook that can hold up to 4 kgs of weight. You also get your individual armrests and this cup holder here that folds up and can be bent down using a button on the side. Now in terms of shoulder room, headroom and knee room, there's absolutely no issue inside. You get a good amount of it, especially because these are captain seats and you have your own individual space. It could have done with a little more under thigh support, but the seat back does recline, which means that you can sit further in your seat. One of the things not present in the Maruti Invicto from the Toyota Innova Hycross's feature list is the Ottoman recline seat function for the second row. It's not a deal breaker because it's an extra luxury feature. You still get enough space inside and it's just as comfortable. We are here in the third row of the Maruti Invicto, and as you can see, it's functional more than anything else. Think of it as that you have a third row and it would be the difference between carrying 2 more people and having to take a second vehicle. As you can see that headroom is okay, shoulder room for 2 people would be good, a third one would be a squeeze, and again under thigh support is pretty low because the seat base is low and the seat back is also pretty low. And there's not a lot of features here. You get cup holders and a 12-volt charging port as a part of the package. The seats split fold 60-40, giving you significantly additional boot space. Here is the full feature list of the Maruti Invicto and also what it misses out on from its donor car. We are here driving the Maruti Suzuki Invicto. In terms of techs, it essentially gets a 2-liter 4-cylinder petrol engine with an electric motor giving you a hybrid setup. The whole powertrain has been mated to an eCVT that powers the front wheels. It's actually a big step up from the previous generation of this car that it is based on, as for a long time the Innova used to be a ladder on frame diesel heavy vehicle. This is the first one that's put so much emphasis on more drivability like a car. As a car to drive, it's surprisingly able to mask its size pretty easily, and one of the things that we noticed is that it rides very well because when you have a front wheel drive monocoque setup with a more modern underpinnings, the ride quality is bound to improve. Even running on these 17-inch wheels, it actually rides really well, like smoothing everything out. We are here outside Jodhpur where you're getting a mix of good roads, bad roads, potholes, under construction roads, and the Maruti Invicto has remained unfazed and unaffected by all of this, going pretty smoothly. The powertrain is surprisingly seamless in the way that it switches from electric to the petrol engine. I mean, you can hear the petrol engine come on and there's actually a pure electric range, but it's like a really negligible amount. And the idea of having a pure electric range is that when you're in stop and go traffic, you'll be running on electric power rather than petrol power, increasing the mileage on offer. The powertrain is peppy. All you need to do is just, even if you do a part throttle mash, the car just zips forward and you get more than enough performance to do quick overtakes and also cruise easily with no problems. The steering is light to use at especially at city speeds. It requires about almost 3 turns to go from lock to lock, but that's not really an issue with the vehicle. Would have liked some more feel from the steering wheel, but it works, right? For the most, if you're driving in city conditions, I don't think it's really going to be an issue. You get a button only for the EV mode. You also get 3 different drive modes. Depending on this, it changes the color in the instrument cluster. So there's like an eco mode, there is a regular mode, and then there is a power mode. So in power mode, the throttle response is sharpened up, right? So right now I'm in power mode and I mash the throttle and you can see the way it has just picked up like that. One of the big selling points of this car is going to be mileage, right? Maruti Suzuki claims a mileage of 23.24 kmpl, which when combined with a 52-liter tank gives you a theoretical range of 1,208 kilometers. That's like massive considering the size and weight of this vehicle, right? We put its sister car, the Innova Hycross, through our real world mileage test, and in city conditions it returned around 13.5 kmpl, and in highway conditions it returned around 18.5 kmpl, which is pretty impressive for a vehicle of this size. And given that this is almost the same vehicle underneath with similar weight and power distribution and things like that, we expect that it will offer a similar level of mileage. We will, of course, when we get the car for more time, we'll be putting it through CarWale's real world mileage test and should be able to give you an accurate number of how it goes. One thing you should be cautious for, where the old Innova had an ability to go over really bad roads, and dig itself out of difficult positions because of it being rear wheel drive and a ladder on frame chassis. This one is front wheel drive monocoque and heavy with the hybrid batteries and things like that. If you go into like slush or slightly bad roads, you're going to beach the car and you'll need to be pushed out, which is something you should be cautious for. Ground clearance, not an issue, but you will beach out in heavy slush and soil. And car has an ability to cut power when it senses a loss of traction, which makes things a little more complicated. So if you're in a scenario like that, tread with caution. We've spent some time with the Maruti Invicto, and here's what we found. In terms of external appearance, it's got all the presence that you need when you're paying that kind of money for a vehicle. Inside, the cabin is roomy, it's spacious. You have more than enough headroom, legroom and shoulder room across the first and second row, while the third row is competent and exists as a third row for you to use if the requirement turns up. It's down on some of the features as compared to the ZX variant of the Toyota Hycross that it's based on, but is a lakh cheaper, which making it a much better deal in terms of value for money. As a car to drive, it's actually pretty competent. The hybrid powertrain works seamlessly, switching between electric and the petrol engine. I mean, you can hear the petrol engine come on, but it's pretty seamless. And it rides very nicely, especially on these sort of potholed roads that we experienced here outside Jodhpur. It was taking everything with aplomb and we didn't really have any issues. The drive modes are nice, especially in the power mode. It's addictive when you have a single lane road and you need to make quick overtakes. And one of the big kickers, of course, will be mileage, right? Maruti Suzuki claims 23.24 kmpl, and with a 52-liter tank, you're looking at well over 1200 kilometers on a single tank. And at least theoretically, it's a very capable mile muncher and should perform equally admirably in the city. Now here's one main kicker as to why you should look at the Maruti Invicto in the current scenario. The Toyota Hycross in its top spec variants has a 2-year waiting period, whereas this one is available for booking right now. But there's another catch to that. At the time of announcing this vehicle, Maruti Suzuki had said that it was looking to sell around 9,000 units annually, and then at the time of the launch, which was on 5th July, they said that they already had over 6,500 bookings for the car, which means that if you want one, as soon as you finish watching this video and then hitting the like, share and subscribe button, you should go out and book your Invicto so that you're in line to get one. What do you think of the Maruti Suzuki Invicto? Do let us know in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.